My name is Nicholas Rosellini, and I'm the United Nations Resident Coordinator and the United Nations Development Programme Resident Representative in the People's Republic of China. If we look at the 40 years experience in terms of the reform and opening up, I mean, one number that always stands out is the fact that during this time of successful economic and social development, China has successfully lifted 800 million people out of poverty. And I think that's really outstanding, and I don't think it's something with any sort of precedent in history. I think what is also important is it's not just about the economic gains during the 40 years, it's also about the social gains and the human development gains. And I think we also saw the Human Development Index go up very significantly during the same 40 years. China is a high human development country. So what impresses me is both the economic gains during the period, but also the gains in terms of educational attainment, health attainment, and human development overall. China is playing an active role on the world stage and is contributing in terms of global governance within the United Nations. In addition, it's also contributing its own forms of engagements, for example the Belt and Road Initiative, which brings countries together along the old trade routes and is intended to encourage investment and trade in many countries around the world. First time I came to Beijing was in 2001. Beijing, as capital of China, is the first major city in China, transforming to a low-carbon city. When Beijing competed for the Olympic Games, the concept of Green Olympics was put forward. I know that in the 1980s, as a very popular means of local transport, ceaseless streams of bicycles used to be an everyday sight in the streets of Beijing. However, the numbers of cars increased drastically in the 90s and into the early 2000s. Most of the main streets in Beijing were given away to vehicles, and bikeways were narrowed down. I hear that Beijing citizens have responded positively to one more day with blue sky in Beijing, one less day driving each month, choosing environmentally friendly public transport. We all need to stand together as a global community to tackle this problem. So what we need are not the industrial solutions of the past that led to a lot of the environmental pollution, but forward-looking strategies for industrialization which will minimize the use of carbon, minimize emissions. So we need low-carbon development pathways. I believe Beijing will become a low-carbon, ecological and livable city in the near future.